Hello, hello everyone. Hope you're doing amazing. I am very, very excited to have a special guest today with us, Janice Silva. She's been with us in this community for 4 years, and she lives in a place that is very special. It's a paradise, and I am so jealous. Every time I think about her, I'm like, oh, I need to go and find her very soon. She's in Maui. Am I right?
Yes.
Such a
Aloha.
paradise. And she is a health and joyful living advocate. So, welcome.
Thank you. Aloha from Maui.
Awesome. So today, Janice would like to talk to us about how loving yourself, right, can really help you create your best year yet. It's your greatest asset. And she is such an health advocate for joyful living. She's been doing this for how long?
I have been an entrepreneur in the space for 36
30,
years.
37, 36 years. Wow. Yeah. So before we talk about that, would you like to share with us your story, how you got into this? How have you become the person you are today?
Oh, well, thank you. I'd love to. And welcome to your viewers. Thanks for taking the time to listen. I hope that I can share something that inspires you to remember who you are and how powerful you are because we are such miracles. And I've been able to prove that and witness that in my life with so many other people. So like I said, I've been an entrepreneur 36 years. I can't believe it. And both of my parents were entrepreneurs. And I knew that when I was pregnant with my son, who's now 35, that I just didn't want to go work for anybody else. So I have been dabbling in all kinds of things since then. I was a business consultant and I got into some direct sales and I did some substitute school teaching, and then my husband and I bought a 100-year-old farm in Central California in 1998. And I had decided since I grew up in Beverly Hills, and I grew up in the era where the 70s, where it was really cool, TV dinners and food in plastic. Plastic was the new thing, and convenience and fast food and microwaves and going out to and just seed oils, the beginning of seed oils, the poisoning of seed oils. So I I really didn't know where my food came from, and I wanted to raise my kids in a different environment. So we bought a 100-year-old farm. We had a little farm stand, and I just fell in
Amazing.
love with the lifestyle. It was so beautiful.
What kind of
And
animals did you have in there?
we what?
What animals did you have in there?
We didn't. We had lots of dogs and cats, but we had it was an old turkey farm, and we kind of rebuilt it, and we had fruit trees and a greenhouse where we grew microgreens, and then we planted 14,000 lavender plants. So we were specifically a lavender farm where we opened up to people, bed and breakfast, and people would come and tour the farm, and we became the largest tourist draw in our town. I was the lavender lady. I loved it. What I loved about it was the opportunity to educate people about alternative wellness and looking to plants and ourselves as opposed to asking the doctor for some pharmaceutical. There's other ways. So I was really learning so much about growing my food and using the things from the land for our well-being. And it was just such a great time in my life. And I won Business Person of the Year in 2008 for bringing an industry to the area that hadn't existed before. We were part of this agritourism growing movement of going to the wine tasting, to the goat cheese, and coming to our place and tasting lavender cookies and
Mm,
lavender lemonade. And I
wow.
would share with people, lavender is an adaptogen,
Yeah.
helps our body adapt to stress. And I would teach them how it's great. It's a cousin to rosemary and in the mint family, and it's great to cook with, sweet or savory, and it's also great for our body, our hair, our skin, all that. So I loved it. And then in 2009, I had just received a loan from the USDA to grow my business, take it to the next level. And um, I stepped in a hole on my first day of vacation on my husband's 60th birthday and broke my leg, and everything just
Oh.
changed overnight. I
Mm.
didn't have a backup plan. All my eggs were in that basket. So we really did try to save our business over the year, but I had many surgeries to save my leg and was really depressed because we ended up losing the farm and starting over. And I put on 100 pounds of depression. And I just couldn't believe that I went from living my dream and teaching people every day how to live their dream and be inspired. And I was casting the vision and such my normal happy person that I am today
Sure.
again, and to this dark place that was very difficult to get out of. And because of the pharmaceuticals I had to take in the beginning, and the weight, things are stored in our fat, toxins. And so it was very toxic. It was like an IV drip constantly of this stuff. And my body doesn't do well with synthetics. So I only really stayed on the pharmaceuticals for 2 or 3 weeks. And then I was on to cannabis and more natural things because for me, plants are always the way to help me through pain and healing. And so um, I did heal, thankfully. We started over, and that's a whole nother long story of that beautiful journey. But I chose to do it through network marketing because I felt like, I didn't want to go back and be a real estate agent again. I didn't want to go back to school. I was, not I was doing what I loved, which was helping people, making a difference and meeting new people and having fun and being in the wellness space and working with people. We had retreats there. I was teaching Pilates and it
Brilliant.
was just such a beautiful time. That's what I wanted to do. And so I could do that. I could fund it through the network marketing industry. So I got involved with the company I am aligned with today, Isogenics, and it really changed my life. I lost the 100 pounds. And when I started giving back and sharing with others, I was able to help other people do that too. And so I work with people today, 30, 60, 90 days, people who are ready because I was ready. I had tried everything for years and
Mhm.
couldn't pull my way out of it. And really, until you address the stress and the toxins and the deficiencies, whether they're mental or physical. So I had to get into some real hypnosis work, some coaching work to let go of limiting beliefs, things that were holding me back. I had watched both of my parents pass very thin, and I was holding on to some subconscious beliefs that thin meant death. And I wasn't able to release. I was having blocks. And the minute I recognized that, it was just like, it just really helped my journey. So when we address those mental, emotional, spiritual deficiencies, and then move into the nutritional deficiencies, which are there for most people, um, we are we just are able, our cells are happy, and we really, we're 96 billion cells, and a trillion of them are always becoming new every 60 seconds. So every minute we're getting new energy. So when we're
Yeah.
feeding ourselves with things that, I'm really into biohacking, meaning these are things that are specifically targeted to help with our health span and our longevity. When we're feeding our body, things like NAD, naturally sourced vitamins, no synthetics, quality protein throughout the day. When we're feeding these things to us, electrolytes, NAD, these things help our cells when they're new and regenerated. They help them do what they need to do because we have been given everything we need to thrive. So I love using plants like moringa and mangosteen and all kinds of beautiful adaptogens.
Mhm.
I really are adaptogen elixir for stress. And when I started to really deal with the stress and get out of the chronic stress, start to do my intermittent fasting clinically supported with botanicals to help really release the toxins, those things
Yeah.
combined together,
Sorry.
magic happened.
Yeah, sorry if I interrupt. Did you say you also tried fasting, right? To
So
help.
part of my system
Mhm.
that I work with, and our system is highly cited in medical journals, 24 peer-reviewed studies on the system, not just the ingredients or one product, but it is based on an intermittent fasting protocol
Right.
that is clinically supported with a botanical drink that
Wow.
has been shown for 23 years to help your blood release the toxins. So I drink that and I fast every week, usually about 42 hours, 36 to 42 hours, but people do 1 day or 2 days. And that's part of our system. And I've been doing that for 7 years and I highly, highly recommend it. I was so scared to do it, but it's really been a blessing. And it's helped really just my skin and my hair, my nails and my eyesight, and my body
It really
feels so much
rejuvenates
brighter.
our body.
Yeah,
And let me ask you a question. How do you feel during those 2 days when you are fasting?
I feel amazing. And the second day is often easier. And you're drinking the drink throughout the day 4 times.
Mhm.
It's full of niacin and vitamins B6 and 12 that support the process, as well as a lot of really great botanicals. Taste great. And you can have little protein. There's little protein crackers. So each time I drink that, I'm a couple little bites, and I never feel hungry. I never feel hungry on the system, because when you feed your body and you don't deprive it, right? I'm not into diets or depriving. When we feed and nourish our body with collagen and protein and the amino acids and the enzymes and all these things that we need,
Mhm.
our body just shines, and I've witnessed it. So my before and afters definitely show it. And I'm 62 and this month on Saturday, and I definitely feel better than I have in a long time. And it's a process, right? It's a lifestyle that I've chosen.
Yeah.
And I find that when people are ready and they try it, they love it and it works. We get results.
I love it. And honestly, you look and sound and your energy also
Right.
feels like 20, 30 years younger. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, if you'd seen me a few years ago, you would not think that. And, people used to love to come to my lavender farm. And after I broke my leg, nobody wanted to come around because it was so sad. I really went down. And so I know, and this is the second time I had lost everything. So I know what it's like to be down and to be up and to be down and to be up. Of course, we all want to be up. It's way better, but it's really nice to just be
For sure.
sustainable,
Yeah.
right? And just to be, keeping it real. And we're in an age of authenticity. And I found that, a big thing for me when I stopped coloring my hair, I'd been coloring it forever. I had purple hair when I was a lavender farmer and I loved it. It was a I'd been gray since I was 21. So it was really difficult. I couldn't find a way to do it. Through detoxing and my system, everything has just been changed. My hair is so natural and healthy. And I just prefer non-synthetics. I mean, our vitamins that just came out last year that are just such an upgrade, because vitamins today, they're made in labs. Ascorbic acid, beta carotene, when people are taking these pills, they're not really bioavailable. They're not really serving us.
Mhm.
And so we have found through naturally sourced vitamins that are Pura Plant 21 is a capsule, but this technology that they have is so super cool because you're getting actually the 21 essentials in pure plant form. So you're not getting anything synthetic. And when we can really remove the synthetics in our food, the processed food,
Oh, it makes
the
a
seed
huge.
oils, everything does better. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. And can you remember, and would you like to share a story of someone who was perhaps in a very bad place, the situation, maybe very stressed? Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
for
or
sure. So
yeah.
I'll talk about my very first customer, Mike Copeland. And because he's just really on my radar right now, he started with me about a week after me. He released 69 pounds quickly, much faster than I did, and um, joined me on my journey. And so he also was sharing and making a little bit of money here and there, but he was a radio sales ad guy, very successful, making a seven-figure income. And so he didn't feel that he really needed to have a side gig, right? So he'd share it here and there, but it was not his focus. And so he was doing that for the last 7 years. And 3 months ago, he was informed that they sold the radio station,
Whoops.
and he lost his seven-figure job, and they would give him a 6-month severance pay.
Ow.
Needless to say, it was a little stressful. And so he was really drinking the adaptogen elixirs, and he was so grateful that he had his health under control, because if you saw his before
Yeah.
picture, you would have said he would never have survived. He was so inflamed and puffy and overweight and carrying a lot of visceral fat. He may not have survived. So a couple weeks went by and he ended up in the hospital,
Oh
and he
no.
had to have a pacemaker put in
Oh, what?
because a hereditary issue. His father had a pacemaker,
Oh,
and
I see.
he was in ICU for 3 days and released.
Ooh.
And all, the doctor and nurses told him that he's the third person to be released in that ICU to live. And he got out of the hospital 2 days later, and everybody usually stays in longer. He
Much
hasn't had
longer.
no reaction. And
Brilliant.
the doctors told him that,
Good.
because of course he told him about his regime. and his nutritional, and that he's on no medication and all of that. And they said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it
Keep doing
because
it.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't have made it. And we're so impressed you
Love to.
getting out, third one to get out alive. And so now he has a renewed lease on life because instead of like, oh my God, I lost my job, what am I going to do? He feels like he had an NDE, a near death experience. Really, he was close to death,
Wow.
and he is now sharing like crazy the business and now working with me full time and just complete. And he's been wanting to do it because the job was so stressful. He would call me and go, God, I hate my job. It's so stressful, but I can't leave it. He was so trapped. And so not only did I feel really good years ago that we helped him release all the weight, it was renewed fulfillment for my heart because one, he made it through that surgery and he was like shining so bright and has a new release on life. And instead of being down in the dumps, worried about what am I going to do? Because I know what that's like. I know what that feels like. Instead of that,
You
he's
have an opportunity,
excited to
right?
be sharing with other people the system. And so I'm so grateful that this is a holistic look. What people need to find something they're passionate about so they can wake up with energy and joy like you. I've witnessed you over the years just become brighter and brighter because when we're making a difference and we're shining our light, we are also healed and we are the most important asset. This is our show, our movie. We are the director. We're creating it. We're all here to support each other. And the way I look at it is that we've already decided that ahead of time. And I'm excited to be here on this journey with you. I just had a fantastic event in Maui. Paul Williams, who's a
Oh,
quantum hypnotherapist, came
yeah.
over from
I was
Australia.
there. Mhm.
Oh, it was just this beautiful event. We're going to be doing it again in May. And we had some shamanic breath work, some Kundalini yoga.
Beautiful.
We did a lot of past life, future life regressions, and we just talked to our guides. It was the most beautiful time. And what I came out with it is that we are never alone and we are always guided on the right path when we're open and listening. I found when I was
Yeah,
toxic and depressed, right? These are low
of
frequency
course.
things
Yeah. We
was not able to rise up.
be
We've got to
receptive. We
raise the
can't be connected with our higher, right? Yeah, absolutely. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, I love this. Oh, I would have loved to be there. You're just a little bit far from
but you'll come
UK.
sometime, maybe for a dance off here, because we do a lot of dancing here.
Yes, exactly. I know Janice is also a passionate dancer like me, right?
I use it. Now I'm actually jumping on a rebounder. This journey to wellness has not been easy. I'm not going to lie. And before I found my system with isogenics, I had tried everything, sugar free, gluten free, wheat free. And so, really, until I addressed the deficiencies, nothing could take off. But dancing for me, I'm all about whatever brings us joy. Because if it isn't fun, I don't want to do it, and it won't be lasting. So I
Absolutely.
enjoy dancing, and it's a great way to feel fit, to get fit.
Yeah,
And believe me, when you lose 100 pounds, you need to do things that are going to tighten up your skin. It's part of the reason why I love collagen, but anything we can do to support what our efforts, right? And
yeah.
I work with a lot of different people in different industries, and they're all overworked and underpaid. So I'm like, hey, let's stop that and do something different.
Yeah, it is so important to schedule your fun activities or give it a daily priority, making sure that you don't forget to have fun. So now, for example, in 2025, I have that activity and that's playtime with my kids on a daily basis. I don't want to skip it because it's great for everybody. We relax when we play, we relax, we are not focusing on anything else. We are mindful, we are in the moment, we're really present, and we are also building a lovely rapport with our kids in this case,
You know
right?
what? Kudos to you and keep that up because that was important to me too, and why I wanted to live in a more simple life there in the rural area where we bought the farm. And I was very present with my kids. And if you asked them today, they would both tell you that they feel like they were so fortunate to grow up in that situation
Yeah,
that showed them life is more than just going to a job. It
exactly.
really is. And, I also act as a wellness concierge here where if people want to come, any of your followers, reach out to me at my website because you can come here. And if you go to my website, I have a whole list of things we can do
I've
as
seen
a wellness
those
thing.
things. I've seen those
Fun,
things. I've seen
different.
the boat tour, right?
The
And
boat tour, but
various
the energy work, the
things.
harmonic egg, which you have one in London, by the way,
Mhm.
and the harmonic egg is amazing. The singing bowl is this giant, this picture, this giant copper bowl,
Yes, I've seen
and you
that
you
in a
hang in a
picture,
hammock,
but very new to
and
me. I was not sure what that was.
well, you lay in the hammock and you're in a robe with a mask, eye mask, and she gongs it. Okay, it's from Switzerland. It's the only one in the planet. They brought it to Maui to heal her son. It's been very healing. People go with it, are recovering from cancer and thing. And you lay in it. I've been 3 times. It's amazing. You lay in the hammock, and for 20 minutes, she gongs it with this big gong, and you're like, the frequency is amazing, and it's just the most beautiful experience. So we can do that. We can do the harmonic egg. We can do goat yoga. We can go to the lavender farm. I can teach you some things and about lavender, and I love it. I make the trip stress free. I pick you up. I shop for you. I help you
And at
find where
that
you're going to stay.
and once I go through all of this, I'm like, okay, I stay here forever.
My cat was meowing. Sorry, can you hear him?
No, I don't.
Oh, he's yelling very loud. He wants my attention. Anyway, yeah, I would love for you to come, especially there.
Awesome.
I have an orange cat. If any of you have orange cats, they are the most unique, wonderful, energetic, fun cats.
I love cats. Wonderful. And also, I remember that you've put together a biohack, right? Your life, a
So,
resource for our people.
yeah, if you go to my website, you can look up the Wellness Concierge. You can see my system. You can read the science, some of my favorite products. You can read my story. I've got a podcast there. You can link to The Art of Living Joyfully. I just, I used to at the farm for, every day people would show up, oftentimes the same people year after year. And we would say, next year when you come, this field will be planted. And they would love it. And I would talk to them and we would laugh and I would tell stories and I would inspire them to continue to dream, and it made me feel so good. And so I kind of do that through my podcast and share fun stories and inspire people, so you can check that out. And then I have this biohack your life guide. They can
Right.
download it, 6 pages, and it just has some good tips. And if you're someone that is interested in biohacking, okay, it's a specific thing where you're using, scientifically targeted products that can help you, plant-based things like moringa and mangosteen and beautiful things, can help you. You can read about it there. So I encourage you to do that. And you can schedule with me as well for a complimentary session just to see if I can be of service.
That's beautiful. And we are going to make sure that the link to download the resource is just at the top here in the video
Okay.
caption. So anyone can quickly click and download. And obviously, Janice is in the group, and I will tag her here in the video. So if you want to send her a message or simply say hi, make sure you drop a comment there and say hi. And if you want to connect with her, I know she has a lovely community I belong to as well. So you can also join her Facebook group. And I'm so happy you joined me today for this chat, this lovely chat. Is there anything that you would like to say to someone who is going through maybe a difficult period? Maybe they're not really feeling as joyful. What would you say to them?
Well, first of all, I'd say you're not alone because there's a lot of people that are feeling that way. And I would encourage you to look at what you're putting in your mind with your words. That's the first thing you can do is clean those words up, right? How many times do we hear people say, I'm so busy, I'm so tired, oh, I'm so stupid. All these things. Dump the words, really dump those words and find ways to empower you through your words. It's so important. When I realized after I broke my leg that for months I had been saying, I need a break, I need a break, I need a break, I need a break.
Oh no, what?
Yeah, so we want to watch our words because I don't say that now. I say I need fun, I need friendship, I need companionship, I need food. That's a big one. We don't want to be hangry. I need nourishment, I need love. but I don't need a break. And I really encourage people to do that. So watching your words is one way to really improve everything. And watching what you're putting in your mouth, right? Because if we're putting a lot of sugar and inflammatory foods in, it doesn't assist us with that fog and belly bloat and those things that distract us from our true mission. And I encourage people to find out what that is. We're all here for a purpose. And I know that because I've often questioned myself over the years, should I spend money on that event or that product or that, outfit or that class or whatever it is. But if it's something that's going to benefit you, make you feel good, you got to do it because you are your greatest asset and we're
Mhm.
here to grow. So what I do, I feel like is a personal growth program that pays me. And so I just like to help people understand that you can remember who you are. You can get through this. You're never alone. And don't be afraid to take care of you, right? So many people will spend money on other people before they'll even spend it on themselves. And we are the priority. And I encourage people just to have more fun and to connect because loneliness, there was just a study done here at Harvard, 61% of the mainland US people, that didn't include Hawaii, are expressing extreme loneliness. And I think that it was declared as a global health emergency. So community, 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 like what you have here in my group, connection. We must really be a part of community and then serving your purpose, your higher purpose, what it is. And when you do that, you can have more joy in alignment.
I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this. And at the very beginning, you were also mentioning how important is not only to have fun, but to do something that you would want to continue doing. In other words, doing things that are sustainable, right? And how important this is. And we are in January, and this is the time for us to set goals for the year, you know, one goal, two, too many, how many? And what I would like to say to everybody is making sure that these goals are aligned, really aligned with what you really, really want, right? Janice has just mentioned, what is it? What's your mission? What is it that you really, really want? And making sure that any goal that you're setting is for yourself, is coming from within. It's not because someone, your husband, society,
Family.
whatever, right? Yeah, family, like all those external voices, we should block them out when it comes to goal setting and our priorities. We need to make sure that we identify our vision. What is it that we really want in every area of our life? And then why we want it. Then finding the resources and setting goals that are aligned, making sure they are sustainable. So we keep up and continue doing this. So I'm excited to be here in 2025 with you. And cheers for an amazing and splendid year to you, Janice, and everybody in our community.
And to you too. And I look forward to all the fun things you're going to be doing this year. And thank you so much for your time.
Wonderful. So I'm looking forward to meeting you very soon. And in the meantime, we'll say bye bye for now. Bye, guys.